Welcome to another video, a small video about the new moon that is coming up around and about the 2nd of March. It's gonna be a new moon in Pisces at 11-12 degrees. So it's about, this video is just about the new moon, but in general to start with, and then I'm going to have a look at all the signs. So let's get started, because this is a new moon that I've been looking out for. I really am. Now, there is a little bit of a warning here, because of course, when you're new into astrology and you are new to the language of astrology, you tend to go towards the side where you want to go, like with, for instance, Jupiter very close to the new moon. You kind of get enthusiastic about all that, and that's a good thing, but you always have to take into account, and this is very, very important for all those of you who are interested in astrology. Astrology is about energies, and energies are neutral. They're never bad, they're never good, they're neutral. It's difficult for us people to understand, and that makes us human, but it is true. So you always have to look at both sides of what is happening. And now this new moon in particular, because as I said, it's at 11-12 degrees of Pisces, and that's next to Jupiter, because Jupiter will be around 11 degrees still in Pisces. So it's a very benefic planet, Jupiter, and it's in its own sign. It's about expansion, and Pisces is all about no boundaries, please. So yes, absolutely, for every one of us, new moons are about new beginnings, endings and new beginnings. So for a lot of us, some area in our life, there is some sort of a new beginning coming up. Of course, an ending as well. We tend to forget that. But there's like an ending and a new beginning coming up for all of us. And it's quite positive. It has this expansive energy of Jupiter. So it wants us to take a leap of faith and to go forwards. It's a bit like in French, they call it a passe-partout. Passepartout, you know, it can enter any door that you want to open. And that's very, very much the energy of this new moon. You could get all excited about it, and you could dream about it and all of that. But it is for all of us different, depending on, first of all, our temperament. So if we already have a temperament of, I sit and I wait until things happen to me, this is not a good energy. If you are, because you will have to act, and bear with me, that's because of other positions of planets. But if you are the type of person, a bit more like me, like a bit more forceful and with great passion, and that has a downside too, right? Because when it's out of your control, you can't force things. Then it's also not such a good sign to keep on going. Then it's the opposite. So let me break down this energy. Yes, it is expansive energy. Yes, it is not so really tangible, because Pisces has to do with the non-material world, so to speak, but it is definitely there. For those of you, and of course, people who are a bit spiritual or who see the bigger picture, they watch videos like this, right? But if you're 100% rational, you might really not see even the opportunity of this new moon. Okay, what else is happening? Now, actually, there's nothing really that this new moon, that something is standing in the way. Hence the passe-partout that I was talking about, because it can enter many, many doors. But at the same time, there is happening something very, very important that has to do with a very strong, passionate desire. And it's Venus and Mars and Pluto together, they're conjoining with each other. I mean, Venus will be at 26, but then degrees of Capricorn, and Mars at 27, also next to Pluto at 27 degrees. So that is amazingly close. And on the other hand, we've got Mercury conjunct Saturn exact at 18 degrees of Aquarius. So a lot of conjunctions, which means a lot of melting of energies together. So, what are the energies? First of all, of Mercury and Saturn together in Aquarius, that is deep thinking. Serious thinking, deep thinking. On a challenging level, it is negative thinking. On a challenging level. On a positive level, this is serious, focused thinking. Less is more. You're focusing on one thing and you want a solution and you will get it. Now, Venus, Mars, Pluto together, again, energies are always neutral. But on a positive level, this is when you are afraid of, it's the push-pull technique here. So if you are afraid of something that is coming closer and your gut feeling says, yes, I have to do it, but you're afraid of it, my goodness me, use this energy to do it, to act and to be passionate and to break that fear, that barrier of fear. But if you want to pull something into your life and it's, the energy of Venus, Mars, Pluto, like, oh, the desire is out of the ordinary, that you have the desire and you want to pull, please, my advice is the opposite. Let go and surrender. That is the lesson of Pluto. If you want something too much, it's not good. If you want to run away of something, it's not good. So resist the pull and push technique, which means that when something comes full force at you, you don't run away. You stand still, and it's uncomfortable, but it's the best. And when you want to grasp something full force, don't do it. Be still and see if it comes to you, it's meant for you. That's the whole lesson around Pluto. So not easy energies at all. You see, we started with the new moon, which was like a bit of a fairy tale, so to speak, but it's not always easy how to act. So remember, if you have a temperament of being afraid of something, but your gut feeling, that you have to do it, do it. If you really, really want something and you're crazy about something or someone or whatever, you want to put effort, don't. Surrender. And if it's meant for you, it will come. If not, you will clap your hands afterwards. Believe me. And on another level, this Mercury, Saturn, think very rational. It's in Aquarius. So that is this new moon. Yes, opportunities, absolutely out of the ordinary when we apply it right. So keep in mind the things that I just said before you jump into the signs, which I'm going to do now rather quickly, because the energy and how to apply it is the most important. Now for Aries people, this is a new moon to relax. It's a new start because this is happening in your 12th house of relaxation, of reloading the battery. So for you Aries people, it is very much about taking a break, if you can, of course. If you can't, then not. Have some serious conversations with your friends, or have some serious thoughts about the future, but use them in a rational way, constructive, not like putting yourself down, but in a rational way. There's Mercury, Saturn in your 11th. And then all this conjunction in Capricorn in your 10th house is about work. So remember, if you want to go for it for that job, do it. If you're a bit afraid of it. If you want it so badly, stop pushing. Taurus, this is happening. This is a beautiful new moon for you because this is happening in your 11th house of friends and associations. So that could be starting a new moon, a new beginning when it comes to a friendship, or it shifts in its energy and it's an opportunity, or there is a goal that you had for the future and now it is the beginning. But remember, think wise and rational when it comes to your work, when it comes to your parents, and don't push too much when you are having an opinion, having something to say, and you think that other people don't listen. It's annoying, isn't it? But don't push too much. And if you want to say something but you're a bit afraid, please do so, okay? Gemini people, this is happening in the highest point of your horoscope. Maybe, for a lot of you it has to do maybe with work, and for others it has to do with their how they want to be seen in the world, or their parents, or maybe a mixture of all of that. So new beginnings when it comes to work, more expansion, more, there's more hope there, absolutely. But meanwhile, be very careful of how you express yourself, your what you think about the world, so to speak, when it comes to how to express this to other people. And don't try to, you could say, to force other people that your opinion up, you know, that they have a different opinion. Okay, be rational about it. It's not the end of the world. And when it comes to your value that you get from other people, which is all this Capricornian energy in your 8th house, let go of it. If you're trying to get validation from other people and they're not moving, please love yourself and say, this is enough. Do your thing and surrender. If you need to do investments, if you need to work on yourself on a deep psychological level, but you would rather want to run away, please do so. Do investigate. It can give you a great interest, and connected to this new beginning, you know, an interest for, you could say, a new start when it comes to a job, when it comes to how you want to present yourself in the world. Cancerians, this is a nice new moon for you because it's in a fellow water sign. It's in your 9th house. So there's a new beginning when it comes to how you perceive the world. The narratives are changing, that the self-talk that you do towards yourself. It should be a bit more compassionate towards self, a bit more understanding. You have a big helicopter view at the moment with this new moon in your 9th house, and it's really interesting. There could be a new start when it comes to studies, when it comes to travel, when it comes to publishing, when it comes to how you perceive life in general. And it's very uplifting, you know, the 9th house, when something like that happens, can be very uplifting. Now, be aware of the fact that your 7th house, which is relationships, it's all or nothing, basically, with the relationships because of that Capricornian energy there. So if you're afraid of doing something, considering relationship, but the gut feeling knows that you have to do so. If you want something so badly and you're trying to pursue or chase or pull, stop doing that. Right? Stop doing that. It's for your own good. And when it comes to thinking, detach yourself a little bit from what other people think. That's the Mercury Saturn in your 8th house. Leos, this is happening in your 8th house. A very private house, you could say. So there is some sort of you could say figuratively, a death and a rebirth going on for you, for sure. There is this, but it's good. It's about the more you surrender, the easier it will get. And it could have to do with a relationship, a particular relationship that needs a very deep, honest conversation, rational conversation. That is going to be the best for you when it comes to relationships with this Mercury Saturn in your 7th house. And when it comes to your day-to-day life and work and health, you know, if you really know that you've got to do something, you're a little bit afraid, do so. If not, do the opposite, right? If you feel that work, it's you know, you're so passionate and you're not getting where you want, let go, let loose a little bit. But for you in particular, for the Leos, it will be a bit easier to surrender because you've got that energy of that new moon in the house of surrendering, in the house of transformation. Virgos, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships. Oh yes, your relationships, a new one could pop up or an upgrade you could get. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you're open for this, if you are realistic at the same time, this cannot go wrong. And with realistic at the same time, I mean very much this Capricornian energy in your 5th house, which is all about, if you are single, for instance, and you're longing for someone very strongly, please do let go. And that new moon will shift the energy. And if you have a feeling that you're being chased and you don't want to, don't run. Don't immediately run. You know, that could be some things coming into the picture that you didn't remind, that that passe-partout, that could be a person leading you to something else that is so expansive and so interesting for you. And you could also benefit from that when it comes to your health, when it comes to your work with Mercury, Saturn there. Deep thinking around routines that you're having, you're good at that, and to improve them. And on a very rational way, maybe when you work, computers and internet or things that are a bit more rational, it's good to tackle them, and slowly but surely you will get there. But enjoy this fresh air, this newness, this growth that you're going through, this beautiful, you could say, opportunity when it comes to your relationships. Very lovely. Librans, this is happening in your 6th house of your day-to-day life, your health, your routines that you're doing. There's some sort of a new beginning, and you're going to achieve it the fastest when you relax. So it's a bit like doing the opposite of that energy of that house, basically. But when it is linked towards your core and your emotional well-being. So with all of that energy in your 4th house in Capricorn, it's a lot about pushing and pull technique. I'm not going to repeat it the whole time, but when it considers home and houses and all of that, if you want to sell your house, if you've done everything, just pause a little bit and it can go quicker. Or if you've been waiting and waiting, being stubborn and not doing anything, start doing something to sell your house. I mean, and don't be that stubborn anymore. On a level of creativity, of having fun, you have an opportunity here by serious thinking, by thinking in a bit of a rational way. How can you improve you could say, your life when it comes to having fun? And this Mercury Saturn trines your energy, so that shouldn't be too difficult for you to do so. But bottom line is new opportunities, a good start as well for a new health regime, a new kind of routine that you want to set up. It's going to go quite smoothly for you. Sagittarians, this is happening in the core house, it's the core of your horoscope, so to speak. It has to do with home life, it has to do with your emotional well-being. Let go. If you've been doing tons of things to want to feel secure, let go, and that feeling of security will come way easier for you than you want to try to force things too much. Also, when it comes to a new beginning, when it comes to a new home or selling or buying, or a new idea of, yes, I'm going to sell my home and I'm going to live somewhere else or nearby the sea or whatnot, Piscean, it's Piscean energy after all. This can be the seed that you are planting. And I'm thinking about myself because I'm a Sagittarius rising. It does resonate, really. On the other hand, your 2nd house is full of Capricornian energy. If you have too much desire of, I want to get my value and I want to get confident and I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to, if you want to pull money into your pocket, but very, very forcefully and very, not natural, you're forcing things too much. Let go a little bit. I'm not saying hanging loose and wait until money falls out of the sky. That's not what I'm saying either. I mean, you are a Sagittarian after all, so you kind of are very adventurous when it comes to your ideas. But anyway, do a bit less and you see what happens, and surrendering. But if you're afraid of taking action because you think, oh, financially I'm not good at those things, and my goodness me, be a bit angry with yourself and put your fear aside and go for it. Go and hustle for the money. If you've been lazy, okay, you can't turn back the clock. I wish that I could turn back the clock. Yeah, what song was that? I think it's an 80s song. Anyway, but try to do, not try to do things. Do things and you will benefit hugely from that. And the idea with Mercury, Saturn in your 3rd house, think wise, think constructive, Don't go into the negative side of thinking. Go into what works for you and go from there. Good time to learn new stuff, to learn new skills, with a lot of that demand a lot of focus. Good timing for that. Capricorn, this is happening. This new moon in your third house, and the third house is a very enjoyable house. This new moon energy is very enjoyable for you. It's a sextile to your energy. This is all about a new idea, a new connection, or a new way of connecting with siblings, with neighbors, or in the neighborhood, or because of a travel that you do, a short trip that you're taking, you're having new ideas, you're letting go a little bit, you're letting your hair down. And especially with all this energy in Capricorn, in your sign, this is all about the push and pull. Right? So again, if you're desiring something too much that has to do with your life path, pull back, surrender. If you're not doing it because you're afraid, do it. Mercury, Saturn in your second house, this is about your thoughts, but this is about thinking about your money situation, improving it, less is more. It's being economical and rational, period. I don't have to overdo this. It's very clear here. That's the beauty with these conjunctions. Things become very clear. Aquarius, this is happening, this new moon in your second house, a new beginning when it comes to your self-worth, when it comes to exploring your talents, when it comes to money, a new beginning and a new way of looking at all these things. And it starts with being rational about yourself, detaching yourself from the self. You are the sign that can do that at its best. And this Mercury-Saturn conjunction in your own sign is a time of profiling yourself in a new way, in a very real way. What you see is what you get kind of energy. And if you had some trouble with saying no to people, it will be easier with this Mercury-Saturn in your first house. Of course, still plenty of energy in your 12th house, with this Venus, with this Mars, with this Pluto over there. It's a full house, a crowded house in your 12th house. But again, this is about attacking bad habits. If you've been afraid or something is holding you back, start now. Start today. Start now. And if you wanted to, because this energy, the desire is so heightened with this Mars and this Venus and Pluto, you could be very much self-destructing yourself, destroying yourself by giving in and to your own desires, being like this prisoner in your own life, and it's the only person that can get out and unlock it is you. And I think this Mercury-Saturn conjunction is very, very positive for you, because you can use it in a constructive way, and it all starts with the thinking. Pisceans, this is your new moon. Happy new moon. This is a new start for you. This is a new way of expressing yourself. This is a bit of a birthday for you, especially for those who've got planets around 11 or 12 degrees of Pisces, because yes, that's your solar return, right? A new moon, that's significant. That means a new beginning. And yes, those are the ones who have a birthday, of course, around the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th of March. They're gonna feel it mostly. And this has to do a lot with your aspirations, your friendships, your connections with people that are close to you, that you have that you share something in common with, that are on the same wavelength. There is now this, this energy that I've been talking about for quite a long time, with this Venus, Mars, Pluto there in your 11th house. And something, if you have, the Pisceans, they are the best sign who can deal with letting go when they have that gut feeling like, when I push even further, it's gonna slip even faster or sooner away from me, and it's gonna slip anyway away from me when I'm forcing too much. So you Pisceans, you know that, but now it's like the the reward for you as well. I think you, out of all the signs, will have the biggest rewards, especially when you have done this energy of push and pull with the friendship. If someone went away and you said goodbye to them, it can be possible that they come back. And I know a person like that who has, you know, the friend hasn't come back yet, but they're thinking about it. So yeah, no surprise that these things happen with these configurations. And when you are afraid of a friendship or afraid of a connection, don't run away too fast, you know. They can be very important for you and for your growth and your objectives for the future. And then this Mercury Saturn in your 12th house, that is a bit of an odd energy, because Mercury in the 12th is not so keen on being there, but Saturn is, because Saturn is in its joy in the 12th house, so it wants structure. And so write down the dreams that you're having, because they can give you some clues there. And you could have a bit of rational ideas now, because of Mercury there in the analytical, rational sign of Aquarius, and use them, use those good ideas, because you will show a new beginning with your own personality and your own life. Someone new could appear as well. You know, I've seen that many times with a new moon happening in our own sign, because we exude something else, some new energy, new people coming. So I hope that will be the case for you. Very good people, very healthy people. And having said that, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.